Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm gonna do top 5 tools of the week. It's gonna be a new series. I'm gonna try to do this every single week just to put something out for you guys every single week. I'm terrible at uploading. I work quite a bit. I use that excuse a lot though. Everybody's got the same 24 hours of the day. I'm just lazy, I guess. But this is my top 5 tools of the week. It's just 5 random tools that I bring home once a week and make a video about. If they're tools I like, even if they're tools I don't even recommend, if I bought and I think they're terrible and I wouldn't recommend them, I'm gonna bring those home and share those with you so you learn with my experience through my learning. And that's what I wanted to make this channel around, was you going through the same thing that I am going through. You see the process of and the steps I take to become better and better at my job, I guess. So let's start it off with the first. Some of these aren't tools. I guess they're storage type of things too. But the first thing is going to be a little bolt holder tray. This is a Craftsman one. It expands and you got about 1.5 inches of room in there, and it's magnetized on the bottom and it's rubber. So even if you stick it to the side of a car, you're not going to scratch it. It's not just a bare magnet. You have no chance of scratching it. It's just rubber, and it has 5 magnets. You got two and one in the middle, and so far they've worked out pretty well for me. The only thing that I would say that might go bad on these is the siding here. It's thin rubber, so if you put anything sharp into here, it might cut the side, and then you got a hole, and then your 10mm nut that you just threw in here is now gone. So it's nice, but beware. I wouldn't recommend putting anything sharp in these. But it does come in a 2-pack. Get it at Lowe's. Not even sure how much they were. It was a Christmas present. I'm sure they're not that expensive.Maybe 10 bucks, 15 bucks. That's how much I would pay for these. If they're more than that, buy the Harbor Freight ones, honestly, and put some I don't know, electrical tape on the bottom. Boom, you're golden. That's the first first one. My second tool that I'm gonna be I guess sharing is, you just saw it, it's Craftsman screwdrivers. These have the magnetic tips, so you're not going to lose the screw that you're taking out. They have held up pretty well. I use and abuse screwdrivers. This is a case where I'm going to tell you a tool that I wouldn't recommend buying, and that is the Harbor Freight cheap screwdrivers. I can't attest for the Doyle or the Icon, but the just Pittsburgh rubber handle screwdrivers, they are junk. One tap on the back with a hammer and it broke. It shattered, actually. It wasn't even a break. It turned into a pretty nice punch, but that's about it. I also heard that the Harbor Freight ones, the tips, they don't fit well. I haven't had a problem with these. I had the Matco set that was $250. I ended up giving those back just because I got these for Christmas. I'm sorry for the auto-focusing in and out. But I got these instead for Christmas, and they've worked pretty well so far. They're pretty nice. I haven't had an issue. The only thing I will say is the magnetic tip isn't super strong, so it might, you might lose a screw or two working. That's the best I got. But I definitely recommend these. I don't know how much they were. Again, they were a Christmas present. If I had to guess, they're probably like, because they're Craftsman and they have a magnetic tip, they were an 8-piece, probably like $30, I would say, just because they're Craftsman. You know. The second thing third tool is actually a Harbor Freight tool, and they're relatively cheap. They are the Pittsburgh swivel sockets. I use these all the time on brake jobs. I also broke my front tooth. I don't know if you have been around this channel a while, but yeah, I broke my front tooth doing an alignment, and yeah, that's always fun. But the swivel sockets from Pittsburgh, they are very nice. The only complaint I have is if you get these stuck, if you got them on something, but this part gets stuck like between a knuckle and something, and you stretch out the spring will fall off and you will lose the pin, and then you're going to be hating yourself because your swivel socket turned into 2 pieces and 2 missing pieces. So beware of that, but they have a lifetime warranty, so you can always just take it back to Harbor Freight and be like, hey, I need a new one. They're gonna be like, hey, go grab it off the shelf. You're gonna be like, hey, I'll do that. So I definitely recommend these. Great warranty, lifetime. That's the only downside to them. They've held up well. The only complaint I have is they're bulky, but that's just because they're 1/2 inch, and that's what I use because that's what my Milwaukee gun is. So definitely recommend these if you're doing brakes, any steering and suspension work. Even if you need to get into a tight space, they're better than the chrome 2-joint. I mean, not two, well, it has 1 joint, but it only, back, forth, this way, that way. It doesn't have full 180, 360 rotation that this has. So definitely recommend this. They're only 30 bucks, 20 something dollars with tax. You're looking at 30 bucks. That's a good deal compared to the Snap-on Matco ones that are like $200, $300. I would go with those all day long. They've held up since day one, and I bought them probably a month or 2 into working at Firestone. That was it was a year and 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. So a year and 3 or 4 months. Been using those, and they come in handy pretty much every day, and they've held up. No complaints other than the spring getting caught. That's only my stupid fault. So no complaints pretty much at all with those. Definitely recommend them, especially for the price and the quality. Definitely recommend. On to the 4th tool. The 4th tool is a set, and it is Harbor Freight again. It is their 3/8 extensions. This comes in a 4-piece set. You get a smaller size than this. It's probably about, 1.5 inches, probably about 2 inches, maybe, might be 3 inches. I would say 3 inches, because you got the 3-inch, the 6-inch, the 12-inch, and the 24-inch. And I definitely recommend these. They have the locking, ball tab here, and they're grooved, so if you got oil on your hands, you're going to be able to pull it either off of your ratchet, your impact, whatever you're using it on. Same with the locking part here. You're going to be able to unlock it. Your hand isn't going to slip. I think these are like $20 from Harbor Freight. It's a 4-piece set, and I use these quite often compared to I also have the Harbor Freight 1/2 inch impact extensions, and I also recommend those, but those might be in another week, so you'll see those probably later on. But I definitely recommend these. These come in handy no matter what you're doing. If you need an extension that's 3/8 and you don't want to lose your socket, definitely recommend these. Only 20 bucks. You can't go wrong with that. Lifetime warranty again. Hand tools go into Harbor Freight. Hey, I need these replaced. Hey, go grab them off the shelf. Over and over again. The final tool that I'm going to be showing off today or recommending today is the most expensive tool, and it's a ball peen hammer. This is a Matco ball peen hammer. This is, I think, the 32 ounce ball peen hammer. I use this all the time with steering and suspension, knocking off brake rotors, smacking the end of a punch to get something out, like a CV axle that's stuck and I can't quite get a crowbar in there, you know. I just take a punch and just smack it off. Those applications, this comes in handy. This was only $86, definitely overpriced, I know, but I swear by Matco. Matco is great. I agree that Snap-on is probably the best of the best. Harbor Freight is probably the worst of the worst, but I enjoy Matco, and I like the tool dealer. He's very nice, and I go through him. And Matco ball peen hammer, $86, I believe. Definitely recommend a good ball peen hammer. Not necessarily this one, just a good ball peen hammer, because you're going to be smacking, like I said, brake rotors, pretty much anything. You know, you're definitely going to need a hammer. It's going to help to break loose a lot of stuff. That's going to be it for the tools. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this or Firestone videos, think about subscribing. I try to upload when I can. It's not often. My last video was like 20 something days ago. So bear with me, but I will put out content, and I know it's not the greatest. I'm going to work on this, but this is just a side hobby as of right now. If you guys have any tools you recommend, put them in the comment section below, and stay tuned for next week when I bring home 5 more tools and tell you about those. Peace.